back to Lane Kiffin now. Why would he leave Ole Miss, right? And why, if you can build, for instance, a program like Signetti in Indiana, and you can be one of the 12 to get into a college football playoff from there, and you can be one of the 12 to get into college football playoff from Ole Miss, isn't that all you need, Paul, is to get to a spot where you can get into the college football playoff and be competitive enough to get the kids either via portal or the old-fashioned way by sitting in a living room and saying you should come to my school? Paul?
Exactly. I don't mean to go back to what I just said a minute ago, but
Sure.
The mistake I made was that Scott Woodward, the athletic director, Rich, at LSU, who fired Kelly, was also the athletic director who hired Jimbo Fisher.
Yes.
So a little confusing here with all the buyouts.
He's Mr. Buyout, right? Like he's setting records. But now to the matter at hand here, right? It's just like things have changed in a way.
They have. Lane Kiffin's team is capable of winning the national championship at Ole Miss, but there's something about this allure of other schools for Lane Kiffin. You know him well. He was maybe the youngest head coach ever for Al Davis with the Raiders. He's already been the head coach at Southern Cal, where he was fired on the tarmac 12 years ago. And he just, while he has turned down a number of jobs to stay in Oxford, which is one of the greatest college towns of all time, Rich. I mean, there's nothing quite like going to a football game at the Grove, where the white tablecloths and the china is more expensive than the buyout sometimes of the coach at the school. But I just sense that he looks at LSU, he looks at Florida, another opening, and he's just a kid again, and he wants to try something new. So that's why I think most of us look at Lane as somebody who could be a wanderer and could take one of those two jobs.
Do you think, Paul Finebaum, it behooves any of these athletic directors to shoot their shot and call Nick Saban at all, or that's just really fodder for stuff like us to talk about, Paul?
It's actually a very legitimate question for this reason. Nick Saban was the coach at LSU. He won the national championship there in 2003. And Saban left in 2005 to go to the Dolphins. Wayne Huizenga offered him this deal. And in many ways, he always regretted it. While Alabama was where he made his mark, it was only 6 national championships.
Yes.
There was this gravitational pull about Baton Rouge. His family loved it. And it probably is the only place that could get a conversation with Nick Saban. So let's go ahead and finish this. What would it take to get Nick Saban to leave the game day set, sitting next to McAfee every Saturday, to go to LSU? It would take more than he made at Alabama, which was about $10 or $11 million. But if they came up with a package, Rich, I think you could literally fill in the number. Do I think Saban would think about it for a minute? Yes, I do. There's a lot of risk involved. His name is on the field at Alabama. He's already the greatest coach in college football history. And he did that at a school that previously had the greatest coach in college football history in Bear Bryant. But he's also a competitor. How many times have you seen this in the NFL where some guy, we just saw it in college where Bill Belichick came back. Other coaches have come back out of retirement. Bud Wilkinson in the 70s, I think, was the great Oklahoma coach. He went to coach for the St. Louis Cardinals. It ended badly, as most of these comebacks do. Bill Walsh came back. I think Nick Saban, for an unbelievable amount of money, where he said, I just can't turn that down, could possibly at least engage in a conversation. And can I ask you to guess the trivia question of the day? Who do you think is Nick Saban's agent? The answer is Jimmy Sexton.
All right. Lots of connective tissue. I know about the Saban regretting LSU, and I read about it, I hear about it, I see the posts about it. I look at that and I'm like, he regrets leaving LSU, but I think he regrets that he left them for the Dolphins. Like he regrets going to the Dolphins maybe more than leaving LSU, where, there was a choice between Dante Culpepper and Breeze, and he chose the Culpepper door. You know what I mean? Like, that's the regret if I had to choose any of them.
Yeah, and Saban's always blamed that on the sports medicine people who claim that Breeze wasn't going to qualify. But those stories don't matter anymore. But
right.
I mean, I don't think Nick Saban would take it. Nick Saban wouldn't talk to Penn State. He wouldn't talk to Florida. But I think he would talk to LSU, at least to see what they have to offer. And by the way, sometimes you can come back and make an offer that even a man who will be 74 years old on Friday night on Halloween might consider. I think it's worth thinking about. And I'm already hearing on our show down here in the South, Alabama fans saying, please tell me it's not true. Don't tell me that Nick Saban's going to LSU.
I'm already hearing from the Ohio State fans saying the same thing about Urban maybe showing up in Penn State. You know, like I'm already hearing stuff like that. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.